Welcome to the He's Got Issues Marvel Comics Edition number 145.1. I'm John Cooney here to preview new Marvel Comics being released October 29th, 2014, beginning alphabetically with All New X-Men number 33. Traveling to alternate universes seems to be a rite of passage for any young mutant calling themselves an X-Man, and it looks like it's the all-new X-Men squad's turn to pass the test. But will it ultimately be too much for the time-displaced youngsters? Guest starring Miles Morales, this is a showdown you won't want to miss. Next, we have Axis Carnage number 1 of 3, Avengers and X-Men Axis tie-in. Carnage is back in New York City, and the city will never look at him the same way again. Something incredible has happened to the symbiote serial killer, and Avengers and X-Men Axis will have Cletus and you reeling. We've also got Axis Revolutions number 1 of 4, Avengers and X-Men Axis tie-in. Companion series to Marvel's newest blockbuster event, Avengers and X-Men Axis, featuring stories from the Avengers and X-Men's epic battle with the Red Skull. As the Red Skull broadcasts hate across the globe, will our heroes be able to quell the madness, or might they just be swept up in it? Next, we have Death of Wolverine, Deadpool, and Captain America number 1. Did you know Wolverine is dead? I bet some people would love to get their hands on his DNA to clone him. Logan's old pals Deadpool and Steve Rogers are going to make sure that doesn't happen. We've also got Death of Wolverine, The Logan Legacy number 3 of 7, featuring Sabretooth. With Logan now gone forever, who will stop Sabretooth from finally annihilating everyone and everything in his path? Fighting Wolverine was his greatest thrill on the planet and the ultimate sport, but now that Logan is dead, Sabretooth's rage takes on an entirely new shape and mission, unencumbered and unrestrained. Next, we have Deathlok number 1, Enemy of My Enemy. After Michael Collins, there was Henry Hayes, a medic who travels to war zones to heal the wounded. He has no idea when he's in the field. He's activated by a mysterious group and becomes the ultimate weapon of assassination and war, Deathlok. From the writer of Black Widow and The Punisher comes a new take on the iconic cyborg character making waves on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We've also got Elektra number 7. Elektra barely survived chasing her globe-trotting quest to find the aging assassin Cape Crow, and now she's given herself a newer, deadlier assignment. Elektra's mission to kill the leaders of the Assassin's Guild takes her and her allies to the streets of New Orleans, where a vengeful Lady Bullseye waits in ambush. Next, we have Fantastic Four number 12, guest starring Spider-Man and an angry Iron Man. The amazing wall-crawler pays a visit to rehabilitate his best friend, and so it begins, the rise of Johnny Storm. Johnny has a desperate message for Bed Grimm, but will the Thing ever trust him again? Plus Mr. Fantastic attacked by Iron Man? We've also got Guardians of the Galaxy number 20, the final chapter of what really happened in the Cancerverse. Remember when Star-Lord and Nova were going to sacrifice their lives to take out Thanos? And remember how Drax was supposed to have died? Well, Nova seems to be the only one missing now. Time to get some answers here. Next, we have Inhuman number 7. Thought dead by most of the world since Infinity, King Black Bolt steps back into the spotlight. Black Bolt and Maximus have been busy over in New Avengers, but that's not the whole story of what's been going on with the Boltigan brothers. We've also got Marvel's 75th Anniversary Celebration number 1. A supersized celebration of 75 years of the world's greatest comics. What happened the day the Marvel Universe was born? James Robinson and Chris Samney have the answer. Legendary artist Bruce Timm adapts the very first Captain America story Stan Lee ever wrote from 1941. As Spider-Man battles the Kingpin, Peter Parker pals and gals lament his absence in a story by Tom DeFalco and Stan Goldberg. Brian Michael Bendis and Michael Gaydos guide Netflix Jessica Jones as she investigates a case with roots in the past of the Marvel Universe. Wolverine's father, Len Wein, and Paul Gulacy recount an untold encounter between Logan and Sabretooth, and more. Next, we have Marvel Universe Ultimate Spider-Man number 31. Dr. Octopus has stolen Iron Man's technology to get his revenge on Norman Osborn. When the Iron Octopus attacks, it's up to Spidey in his Iron Spider suit to save the day. We've also got Nova number 22. It's Halloween and Nova goes to Westchester to join the students of the Jean Grey School for trick-or-treating. With Beast chaperoning, what sort of trouble can the kids get into? Lots. Next, we have Thanos, a god up there listening number 44. At the close of Infinity, Thane discovered he was the son of Thanos and that his touch was death. Now, accompanied by the constantly whispered advice of the Ebony Maw, he wants to discover his father's history and his own future. We've also got Thunderbolts number 32, The Punisher versus the Thunderbolts, final chapter. Will the Thunderbolts prove to be the complete failure Punisher believes them to be? This final issue of the series will reveal all. And we've got Wolverine and the X-Men number 11. The X-Men mourn as one of their own is finally put to rest. As a reporter digs further in Wolverine's past, what will be uncovered as the X-Men retell their favorite personal adventures in Wolverine stories. Some of the industry's best and brightest lend a hand to say farewell in these two jam-packed issues: Robbie Rodriguez, Jason Latour, Jim Rugg, James Herron, and more. Out in trades, we've got Deadpool and Cable Omnibus hardcover. Wade Wilson is Deadpool, the mentally disturbed merc with a mouth and a healing factor that just won't quit. Nathan Summers is Cable, the messianic mutant from the future who plans to save us all, whether we want him to or not. And now this disparate duo has just become Marvel's oddest couple because they're stuck with one another. Can two grown men armed to the teeth with high-tech weaponry coexist without driving each other crazy? It's action, adventure, time travel, dimension hopping, black humor, black ops, B. Arthur, chimichangas. Yes, the whole thing started here. And lots of gunfire as two of Marvel's fan-favorite anti-heroes take on each other and everyone else. Guest starring the X-Men, Spider-Man, Captain America, the Fantastic Four, and the Great Lake Avengers. This title collects Cable and Deadpool number 1 through 50 and Deadpool GLI Summer Fun Spectacular. Next we have Howard the Duck Omnibus hardcover. Get down, America. Vote Howard the Duck in 2008. That's right, folks. It's an election year, and what better way to celebrate than to cast your vote for the one candidate who really tells it like it is. Born on a planet populated by talking waterfowl, Howard the Duck found himself trapped in a world he never made. Ours. Howard was the archetypical outsider, able to see through the absurdities of human society in the 1970s with uncanny accuracy and acerbic wit. His adventures presented writer Steve Gerber with a platform from which to engage in an ongoing critique of contemporary fools and pretenders, from power-mad capitalist wizard Pro Rata to cult leader Reverend Jun Moon Yuk to the dreaded Dr. Bong. Experience for yourself the complete comic adventures of Howard in this omnibus collection, reprinting his first appearance in the entire run of his first series, collecting stories from Adventure into Fear number 19, Man-Thing number 1, Giant-Sized Man-Thing 4 and 5, Howard the Duck number 1 through 33, Marvel Treasury Edition number 12, and Marvel Team-Up number 96. We've also got Iron Man Epic Collection Volume 1, The Golden Avenger trade paperback. Marvel had hit after hit in 1963, bringing new characters and fresh concepts to a public primed and ready for heroes with feet of clay, and none touched both that heroic idealism and human reality like Iron Man. A jet-setter, playboy, and brilliant scientist, Tony Stark had his life changed forever when a battlefield explosion ripped into his heart, and only the amazing Iron Man armor could keep him alive. Stan Lee and Don Heck built the foundation that would turn Iron Man into a cultural icon. Now you can experience his earliest adventures in this epic volume, collecting their complete original run, featuring the evolution of Iron Man armor and the first appearance of Hawkeye and the Black Widow. They're true classics from cover to cover, collecting material from Tales of Suspense number 39 through 72. Next we have Marvel Masterworks The Avengers Volume 6 trade paperback. Get ready for Earth's mightiest heroes matched with two of comics' mightiest talents, Roy Thomas and John Buscema, as the Marvel Masterworks take you on a trip through one of the most stellar creative periods in Avengers history. It's cover-to-cover watershed moments for the Avengers. The Black Panther joins the team, the Avengers fight the X-Men, a new Masters of Evil debuts, the story of Bucky Barnes' tragic death is told in full for the first time, the new Avengers and the original Avengers face off in a reality-bending battle, and don't forget the first appearance of Ultron. And this storied masterwork concludes with one of the most famous stories in all of Marveldom, the Vision's debut, and Even an Android Can Cry, collecting Avengers number 51 through 58 and Annual number 2 and X-Men number 45. We've also got Miracleman Volume 2, The Red King Syndrome hardcover premiere edition. Michael Moran has rediscovered the power of Miracleman, but unbeknownst to him, Dr. Emil Gargunza, the man behind Project Zarathustra, has set in motion plans decades in the making. In the Red King Syndrome, Gargunza's intentions for Miracleman's wife and unborn child set the stage for a confrontation between creator and creation. The origins of Gargunza and Zarathustra will be revealed, and life and death will be decided deep in the jungles of Paraguay, collecting Miracleman number 5 through 10. Next we have Original Sin hardcover, Who Killed the Watcher? Watu, the mysterious space god who observes mankind from the moon, is dead. Thus begins the greatest murder mystery in Marvel history. As Nick Fury leads a cosmic manhunt to the far corners of the universe, other forces marshal and other questions arise. Who is the unseen? What was stolen from the Watcher's lair? Just when the Avengers think they've cornered their murderer, everything explodes, unleashing the Marvel Universe's greatest secrets and rocking the heroes to their core. What did the Watcher see? As all the truths come tumbling into the light, discover the original sins of dozens of major characters, from the Inhumans to Doctor Doom to J. Jonah Jameson. Collecting Original Sin number 0 through 8, Original Sins number 1 through 5, and material from Point 1 number 1. We've also got Savage Wolverine Volume 2, Hands on a Dead Body trade paperback. Wilson Fisk, the former kingpin of crime, has taken over the ninja legion known as the Hand, and when the mysterious arbiters move to depose Fisk by testing him as a resurrected champion, he calls upon the two most ruthless killers in the Marvel Universe to do his dirty work. Elektra and Wolverine slice across the page in an epic tale of deadly ninjas, keen blades, and bloody revenge from beyond the grave. Then extraterrestrial excitement hits close to home in a tale like none other. Marooned on a strange world among its even stranger denizens, Wolverine uncovers a sinister truth buried deep within the caverns of an alien planet. Struggling to survive the savage exotic landscape, Logan reaches the brink as he's hunted by a child assassin with a dark connection to his past. Collecting Savage Wolverine number 6 through 11. Next we have Uncanny X-Men Iron Man Nova No End in Sight trade paperback. Three of Marvel's best books collide as Uncanny X-Men, Iron Man, and Nova cross over. But what force could bring the Children of the Atom, the Armored Avenger, and the Human Rocket together? When Cyclops is kidnapped, Iron Man returns to space to settle the score, but ends up embroiled with the fugitive Uncanny X-Men. And when their paths cross with Sam Alexander, the inexperienced new Nova, cosmic sparks will fly as their adventure takes them halfway across the galaxy. Can the unlikely allies cooperate long enough to rescue Cyclops and shut down the villain's outer space agenda? You've got to read it to find out, Effendi. Collecting Uncanny X-Men Special number 1, Iron Man Special number 1, and Nova Special number 1. And we've got Wolverine and the X-Men Volume 1, Tomorrow Never Learns trade paperback. Welcome to the Jean Grey School of Higher Learning, where Wolverine, Storm, and a star-studded faculty educate the next generation of mutants. But with their own lives steeped in deadly enemies and personal crises, how can the X-Men guide and educate, let alone defend, their school? And what mysterious organization waits in the shadows to destroy Wolverine's mutant sanctuary? The mysterious Phoenix Corporation wants Quentin Quire, but why? As Wolverine clings to life, Storm, Idie, and the kids make a stand against the Phoenix Corporation, while a fleeing Quentin finds a new ally in Cyclops. And only Evan can save Phantom X from certain death, but does he dare? Wolverine and Storm reach a breaking point as the X-Men take on the Phoenix Corporation, with their very future hanging in the balance. Collecting Wolverine and the X-Men number 1 through 6. Alright, so that's it for Marvel this week, but there's still plenty of other books out as well, so be sure to check out my YouTube channel at he'sgotissues.com to see both the DC and Indies videos for this week, as well as my featured video with the usual roundup of all my favorites for the week, with a little more depth and insight than you get here. And if you like these videos, be sure to let me know by leaving a comment and subscribing. You can also follow He's Got Issues on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Tumblr to see everything I'm reading as I read it. So until next week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.